Hello everybody. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the Museum of Islamic Art. The idea of establishing such a museum of Islamic art and antiquities started during the time of Khedive Ismail, but the idea was implemented during the time of Khedive Tawfiq in 1880. When Franz Pasha collected some archaeological artifacts dating back to the Islamic era, and he placed them inside the eastern Iwan of Al-Hakim Amrillah Mosque. The number of the collected artifacts increased and was 111, so a small building was built in the courtyard of Al-Hakim Amrillah Mosque that was named the Arab Museum under the administration of Franz Pasha. The current museum building was opened during the reign of Khedive Abbas Hilmi II in 1903, and the name was still the Arabic Museum until it was changed in 1951 to be the Museum of Islamic Art. And now, let's enter the museum to see some wonderful artifacts.
Carpet, prayer rug, wool and cotton with a central mihrab element and floral decoration. Turkey, Ottoman, 12th, 13th century AH, 18th, 19th century AD. Textile, silk with Naskh script inscription, part of cover from the tomb of the Prophet Muhammad or internal cover of Kaaba. Egypt, Ottoman, 10th century AH, 16th century AD. Carpet with central medallion, wool pile enhanced with silk, gold and silver threads. Iran, Safavid, 11th century AH, 17th century AD. Sundial carved stone. It bears the name of its craftsman, Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Nishi, as well as the name of Muhammad Abu Dahab, the governor who ordered its fabrication. Egypt, Ottoman, 12th century AH, 18th century AD. Fountain, marble mosaic fountain. Egypt, Mamluk, 8th century AH, 14th century AD. Panel, marble medallion brought from the Madrasa of Surghatmash. This object had been selected to be the main logo of the MIA. Egypt, Mamluk, 8th century AH, 14th century AD.
The necklace consists of 24 elongated pieces. Suspended from the center is a crescent-shaped pendant, decorated in enamel and inscribed with Al-Izz al-Daim, perpetual glory. Egypt, dates back to the 6th year after Hijrah. The gold medal. It had the name of King Fuad I, surmounted by the symbol of Muhammad Ali Pasha dynasty. The medal houses interlaced foliate designs. The gold medal dates back to the 14th year after Hijrah, Muhammad Ali dynasty. Egypt. A steel helmet inlaid with gold dates back to the 10th year after Hijrah. Egypt, Mamluk dynasty. Steel shield inlaid with gold and silver, rounded shield for the protection from the swords' heads. The shield is decorated with medallions housing scenes of knights hunting animals and central half circles, because it's lavishly decorated. This shield was not used in wars. It dates back to the 10th year after Hijrah, the Mamluk dynasty. Egypt. The chamfron. It's made out of copper inlaid with gold and silver. Several protective shields for animals were known in Islamic art, such as the horse saddles and the chamfrons. The chamfron dates back to the 8th year after Hijrah, the Mamluk dynasty, Egypt.
A shard, painted ceramic shard decorated with the scene of the Christ as an evidence of the Muslim tolerance. It dates to the 10th century during the Fatimid rule in Egypt. Another ceramic shard painted with the scene of descending Jesus Christ after his crucifixion, holding by Virgin Mary. It dates to the 13th century AD, and it was during the Ayyubid era. A wooden comb. The comb is considered one of the most important cosmetic tools. They were used for combing hair and beard. in order to enhance the men's external appearance. Each comb has teeth, and the area between the teeth is usually adorned with various decorations. It dates to the 14th century during the Mamluk era. A mosque lamp. This lamp is made out of enameled glass in the name of Sultan Hassan. It dates to the 14th century during the Mamluk era. A lantern. It is made out of copper alloy and it has the name of Sultan Qunso al-Ghuri, who ruled from 1501 till 1516 during the Mamluk era. A golden dinar, bearing the name of Sultan Baybars, who ruled during the Mamluk era during the 14th century. Another golden dinar bearing the name of Sultan Abd al-Malik ibn Marwan, who ruled during the 7th century during the Umayyad Caliphate. A sword with a steel blade. It has some inscriptions in addition to the name of the Sultan Tumanbay, who was the last Mamluk Sultan.
Stucco frame. This unique example was brought from a madrasa of Sultan al-Kamil during the Ayyubid dynasty in 13th century AD that was overlooking Al-Mu'azza Street at that time. The window has a border frame decorated with the Gothic writings and interlaced vegetal motifs.
Marble jar and kilga. It is a white marble water jar decorated at the neck with raised Gothic inscriptions and at the bottom with 4 fish. The body is decorated with the vegetal stems and leaves. This piece related to the Fatimids or Ayyubid dynasty during the 12th or 14th century AD.
A reception hall. It's a wooden casing of a reception hall in the house of Mazdani in Rosetta. The wooden casing is decorated with violet and geometrical motifs in addition to small squinches. It dates back to 18th century from Egypt during the Ottoman time. A ceramic dish. The Minai ceramic is defined as a black-room under glass decorated ceramic. It is called Hifat rank in Persian, which means the spectrum of colors. It is one of the famous types of Persian ceramics produced in numerous Iranian cities. It is characterized by its variety of decorative subjects inspired by the literary Iranian stories and the Seljuk school of miniatures, which often adapted the idea of gilding. It dates back to the 12th or 13th century AD. Wooden senative. This wooden senative was brought from Ascalon to Egypt to be put in the mausoleum of Imam al-Hussein, son of Fatima al-Zahra, the daughter of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. This wooden senative from Al-Hussein Mosque near Al-Azhar Mosque in Egypt during the Fatimids or Ayyubid dynasty in 12th century AD. Tile. Ceramic tile decorated with fluorited and plated Gothic inscriptions from the Holy Quran and the craftsman name in tetragonal Gothic, Ghaibi ibn Tawrizi, from Egypt during the Mamluk time in 14th century AD.
A Holy Quran. Holy Quran bearing the name of Sultan Jahma. The papers of the Quran are decorated and gilded and contain exegetic explanations of the verses of the text. From Egypt, it was during the Mamluk time and it dates to the 15th AD century. A box, casket of copper alloy inlaid with silver, in the name of Sultan al-Nasir Muhammad ibn Qalawun. From Egypt, it was during the Mamluk time and it dates to the 14th AD century. A mosque lamp. Mosque lamp made of enameled glass in the name of Al-Amir Saifuddin Sheikh. From Egypt, it was during the Mamluk time and it dates to the 15th AD century. A lantern. Lantern of copper alloy in the name of Sultan Hassan. From Egypt, it was during the Mamluk time and it dates to the 14th AD century. A bottle, glass bottle with enameled and gilded decoration in the name of Sultan Salah ad-Din Yusuf, Prince of Aleppo. From Syria, it was during the Ayyubid time and it dates to 13th AD century. A goblet. This glass goblet is considered the best proof of the development of glass making in the Muslim world during the early Abbasid period. From Egypt, it was during the Abbasid time and dates to the 8th AD century.
Wooden panel from Mausoleum of Imam al-Shafi'i in Egypt during Ayyubid period, 7AH 13 AD. The object reflects an assembly of wood panels forming a star pattern decorated with florid design, in addition to a frieze of Naskhi writing applied on a floral background. Wooden portable mihrab from the mausoleum of Sayyida Ruqayya in Egypt during Fatimid period in 6 AH 12 AD. The wife of the Caliph Amir ba'ahkamillah ordered the construction of this portable wooden mihrab. Most probably that this mihrab was made in the reign of the Caliph of Al-Faiz and his vizier Al-Salih Tala'i. Copper alloy inlaid with gold and silver in Egypt during Mamluk period 8 AH 14 AD. In the Mamluk period, incense burners were used in the mosques and the house. Their purpose was to spread the wonderful smell of incense in the place. Ewer of Marwan ibn Muhammad. It's made out of molded bronze in Egypt during Umayyad period, 2nd AH 8 AD. This ewer was used in Abu Sir al-Malak near Fayoum, and some believe that it's attributed to the Marwan ibn Muhammad, the last Ayyubid Caliph, as it was used for washing and pollution. It was famous for its scot, which has the form of squatting squirrel spreading its wings. A bronze statuette in the shape of lion in Egypt during Fatimid period 5 AH 11 AD. It's a candlestick in the name of Sultan Qaitbay 1467 to 1495 AD.